Hello friends, welcome to KSP Academy. We already discussed our previous classes, the motor and the generator principles. Now we have to go today the generated EMF inside the generator, how much EMF will induced. Okay, we need to go for derivation. Next, one more thing, in the derivation we need to understand the generated EMF will be impact on what parameters. It means you are giving a mechanical, we are getting an electrical. So getting an electrical EMF, so what are the parameters are involved, what should be affecting will take place. Those are all things which you can see now today. So let us go for one by one. The derivation things, some assumptions are required. So I'll go for one by one, what exactly should be involving over here. So let us take an example, a 4-pole machine. Let us take a 4-pole machine, north and south, followed by north and south. Let us a 4-pole machine, example I am taking 4-pole machine. Now here I should write one by one. Let us first thing is phi is a flux per pole. Phi is nothing but a flux per pole. Each pole possessing how much flux? That time assumption phi is a flux per pole. Next second thing Z. Z is nothing but a total number of conductors inside the armature core. Z is nothing but total number of conductors in armature core. I think we know how armature core will take place. We have a circular body. Each session will going to take place like this, a circle model. Approximation drawing, so armature core I am drawing. This total number of conductors will be takes place in the armature core. So if you want to count, you can say that the number of slots, we can write other way also, the total number of conductors we can get is equal to number of slots should multiply by number of conductors in each slot. Number of conductors in each slot. Number of conductors in each slot. Example, how many number of slots will take place? Example 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Example, you can possess in one more slot to understand very clearly. So there are 10 slots is there. So this each pot, this is nothing but a slot. This is nothing but a slot. This pot is nothing but a slot. So how many number of slots we are having? 10 slots. So each slot we have to keep your conductors. So each slot sometimes we can give one conductor or two conductors, our wish. If we keep in each slot, let us possessing your two conductors. How many total number of conductors? If each slot two conductors, let us 20 conductors. If you keep each slot one conductor, total number of slots 10. Each slot number of conductors in each slot how much? 10. Sorry, 1. So 10 into 1 you can get 10. So each slot number of slots 10, number of conductors each slot 10. So answer is 10. If it is each slot you are possessing a two conductors, that time number of slots 10, each slot two conductors means 2. So let us take 20. If we keep 3 conductors in each slot, example, let us take, you can say that 30 conductors. So number of conductors, how many keep? So you get a total number of conductors should be occupied by total armature core. I think this is clear. So you have to understand very clearly. So this is what I can write. If sometimes they will give total number of conductors, including all. Sometimes they will give slots, number of slots and number of slot conductors in each slot. In such a way as you should be ready to able to do the questions in examination. It's very clear. So Z is over. Then after that, next case N. N is nothing but number of revolutions. Number of revolutions of armature per minute. That means the speed of the mechanical input you are providing. How much the armature core you are rotating, how much speed you are rotating. That is nothing but N is in RPM. Number of revolution per minute. So number of revolutions per minute. 1 minute, how much speed you are going? Are you 20 revolutions per minute or 30 revolutions, 60 revolutions? Options are yours. That is nothing but it is a number of revolutions per minute. Next, P is nothing but number of poles. Number of poles in the machine, 4 pole or 6 pole or 8 pole, 2 pole. You can say that by seeing one, you can say that. Next, the interesting point is here. A is nothing but number of parallel paths. Number of parallel paths. A is a number of parallel paths. I think we are already discussed in the lap winding, wave winding. So if you want to see that video, lap winding, wave winding. In the case of lap winding, let us take a 4-pole machine. We can take if it is a case of lap winding, for sake of your understanding, I can write wave winding. Let us take a 4-pole machine. The number of parallel paths like this. 4 parallel paths. This is called each parallel path. The number of poles equal to number of parallel paths. So the EMF we can collect here across a parallel path. Always we can collect the EMF across a parallel path. If you go for wave winding, the number of parallel paths only 2 irrespective of number of poles. So this is nothing but a parallel path. So number of parallel paths, how many? That is nothing but A is a number of parallel paths in the DC machines. It's very clear. A is a number of parallel paths. Okay, no? It's very clear. Next, one more thing. Always we can find out the EMF across the parallel path. EMF across the parallel path. Am I clear? The EMF we can find out across a parallel path. Next, total number of conductors per each parallel path. Number of conductors in each parallel path means total conductors should divided by number of parallel paths. Let us take, there are 100 conductors. Let us take 100 conductors here. Each parallel path, how many conductors? 100 by 4, you have to give 25 conductors here. A same question, there are 100 conductors. How many conductors in each parallel path? 2 parallel paths. There are 50 conductors. So 50 conductors, how much will possessing a voltage that should develop here? Here 25 conductors, how much voltage should develop here? That should be possessing over here. So across a parallel path we can collect over here. This is a parallel paths. Number of conductors should in each parallel path, that should be decided the induced EMF. It's very clear. So let us go move forward. It's lap and wave, very clear. Next, the number of parallel paths is over here. Let's come to the fundamental. I think we know. Now let us write E. E is nothing but a generated EMF or required EMF. E is nothing but a generated EMF. A generated EMF in each parallel path. The generated EMF in each parallel path. Am I clear? This is what you should go for a generated EMF going to take space. So let us, we have to be here, the generated EMF in a parallel path. So each parallel path you are going to find out a generated EMF in the case of a parallel paths. You will go to take space. So let us, I think we know the average EMF will be developed should be proportional to the rate of change of flux. The d phi by dt will going to be take space over here. Eg is equal to d phi by dt. The rate of change of flux should develop by time. D phi by dt going to be take space is over here. It's very clear. So for this we can go for to complete the EMF generator will going to be take space. So let us over here what exactly going on here. So one by one we have to see. This is nothing but a total flux, the rate of change of time. So the total flux is nothing but, I wrote the flux is nothing but each pole flux, how much it is that. Next, total flux is nothing but the flux per pole should multiply with number of poles. So let us, we can keep one conductor, that conductor will be rotating throughout all poles. So the flux per pole, total flux means each flux pole should multiply with number of poles. So total flux will come. Am I clear? So phi t is equal to phi p into t. Next, dt, the time of revolution. If you come out to that one, I can say that. I think we know what is the n possessing, what is the n formula? What is over here? N. it is nothing but a number of revolution per minute. Number of revolution per minute is n, we can say that. Next, number of revolution per second, we can say number of revolution per second. Number of revolution per second, what is, you can say that? N by 60. Number of revolution per second, we can say n by 60 we can write. But we want a time of a one revolution. Time of a one revolution. So time of one revolution means you can write reverse. So I can write to understand very clearly. So time of one revolution. So I can say number of revolutions per minute is n. So number of revolutions for 1 second n by 60. The time of revolutions per time of revolutions for one how much time will take in one revolution. So we can say that reverse of this one. So I can write time of one revolution, we can say dt is equal to n by 60. This is time of revolutions. Okay, 1 second. Time of revolutions n by 60. So these two things you can apply here. Find d phi, you know, dt, you know. We can write Eg is equal to d phi by dt, you know. So Eg is equal to d phi, how much it is there? Phi into p. So phi p, it's nothing but n by 60. So we can write, what can I write here? So something I wrote wrong, I think that I should recollect myself. Number of revolutions 60 by n I can write. This is n by 60, right? This is, we can write volta 60 by n. Sorry, 60 by n. So you can write it's a 60 by n. Number of revolution per second. So time of revolution is right volta 60 by n you can write. So 60 by n you can substitute here. What are you going to get? 5p n by 60. This is an average EMF in one conductor. This is what? Average EMF in one conductor. Average EMF in one conductor. But how many number of conductors in each parallel path? We don't know. So the total EMF Eg is equal to the how much EMF in one conductor? 5pn by 60. The total number of conductors in each parallel path, I told you just now. Number of conductors should be divided by number of parallel paths. Am I clear? So I told you there are 4 parallel paths. There are 100 conductors. How many number of conductors in each parallel path? 100 by 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4 parallel paths. So I can write total number of conductors by total number of parallel paths will decide number of conductors. This is the induced EMF in the case of generators. So this should be in the case of two things will take place. A lap winding is different, a wave winding is different. In the case of lap winding, the formula is different. Lap winding, what can I say? A is equal to number of poles equal to number of parallel paths. So that time we can write that Eg is equal to 5pn by 60 into Z by P. Pp cancel, we can write 5Zn by 60 for a lap. For a wave winding, you know, the number of parallel paths should be always 2, that I told you. So Eg equal to, we can write 5 Zn by 60 into P by 2. This is the wave winding. This is called as a lap winding. This comes under a wave winding. This is clear, a lap winding, wave winding. So when you are doing the questions, very clear, it's a lap winding machine or wave winding machine. For that we can fix the A value. Lap winding, A is equal to B. Wave winding, A should be 2. This is very clear. Then after that, it should be continue problems. Next, the total number of conductors should be takes place. Number of slots should be number of conductors in each slot. So these are different ways the questions will come. Should be ready to crack the questions. I think very clear. Just d phi by dt. Total flux nothing but flux per pole into number of poles. Total flux will comes. Next, time of revolutions. Time of revolution nothing but RPM, number of revolutions per minute is n, but number of revolution per second is nothing but n by 60. But we want time per one revolution. So dt by 1 nothing but 60 by n. We can substitute 5p by 60 by n. Then you substitute, we got. This is one conductor. We want a total conductor setup in each parallel path. So total conductors by each number of parallel paths z by a. This is the final equation. Depends on the type of winding, the formula going to be changed. This is very clear. I hope very clear. If you are very clear, I think. Thanks for watching. Keep continue. If you like my lecture, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Keep continue for next videos.